Hey everybody, my name is Mitchell. Welcome to my shop. This video is kind of a video to show the build process of this airplane. It is a Breyer kit from Germany. Vogelstein in the US imports it. I am the fourth owner to own this airplane, and we're going to get into that. And it's one of the reasons I want to do the video is because there are planes like this that people start and they really don't know what they're doing, and they shouldn't have done it to begin with. And some aggravating things I'm going to go over here in a minute that they did, but they're not so far gone that we can't finish this model and make a great airplane. This airplane also, I bought this, and the guy, the third owner of the airplane, bought this in a collection of airplanes for somebody who was getting out of the hobby, and he bought it basically to sell. So he never built on it, never did anything. So really, but it's like a car. You know, if you title a car, that's an owner. So that's how I get four owners. So I bought it from him, and I bought some other airplanes from him in that collection, and I made a deal with this airplane. I would never bought this airplane. I mean, I've looked at this before. It's an ugly airplane. It's kind of like myself. I got some long and rounded features, you know. So I kind of like it. It's really cool. But what makes it even better than that is it came with a jet central turboprop, which is going to make this just absolutely great. I've seen a video of another one of these planes that had a gas motor in it, has a color scheme I like. I was already thinking about this color scheme before, but basically it had a gas motor, and that's just not cool to me, not on the turboprop. So being that I have all these together, that's what attracted me to it. Like I said, I normally wouldn't buy a project that had been started with somebody else because there's already some issues I'm going to show you. They're kind of laughable to me, but we're going to go through them. As far as the kit, it's great. A lot of detail in the plane. There's some issues with the windshield and some other issues. Not sure if the manufacturer had done these problems or if it was set somewhere and got hot. I'm not using warp issue. We're going to have to go over some of that stuff. Another thing is no manual. There's no manual whatsoever. I can't find anything on the internet. I've talked to Vogelstein. There's no manual. There's nothing. So you are the engineer, designer at this point. So we're going to go over some things and think about a few things on how to make this work. So let's go through and look at the kit, and we'll show you the turboprop. We'll show you everything that I got with it. All the servos with it too. So that's a big plus, you know, and they've done those quite well. That's why I think that we've had multiple owners. Well, I know we've had multiple owners. The one part's done really well the way I would do it or somebody else would do it. I mean, really nice stuff. But there's some things that's like, wow, why would you even do that on such a nice model? So I am going to build it. It will be flown. So stay tuned. We're going to kind of go through a few things here, and let's do a walk around right fast and see what we got when we bought it. So stay tuned. Hold on just a second. We're going to switch to... Okay, here we go. So here's the whole plane. I've assembled everything just to kind of see where I'm at and what I've got to buy, what I need to add, and kind of get my brain to thinking on how we're going to fix some of these problems that somebody else has made for us, basically. So let's go back over here. Let's look at the turboprop. This is absolutely a beautiful piece of equipment. Jet Central, it's a B, as you can see, and it's, you know, it's going to be great. I mean, it's just going to be, I'm ready to test fire this motor. I've got all the battery, everything plugged in. I've tested all the fuel pump, but I've just not put fuel to it yet. So we're going to do that in a video, and we're going to fire it up. And also another problem that we got to work out are these. So I can grab one of them. I've got to make pipes that are going to go in here that match these. So they're going to have to be made out of stainless steel. That's going to be a design, something we're going to go through. But as you can see, that's the only reason I bought this project, is because of this. If it didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have bought the rest of this. So let's go over and kind of do a view of the whole airplane. You can see it's got the cowl, very long nose, kind of like myself. Got the canopy. I put me a guy in there because I just want to kind of see where the cockpit's going to go. That's another thing. Cockpit has to totally be scratch built. Not a problem. Done it before. Not an issue. It has a lot of great detail. As you look through the light, you can see all the rivets and the panel lines, and it really looks great in the light. So a lot of the detail, I call it corrugation, I don't know what you would call that, on the flaps and ailerons. You come back around here, great tail, a lot of detail again. The tail is removable, so you know, in transport it's going to be great. But you know, I don't know if the factory or somebody just didn't do it, but that's just a thin piece of fiberglass that's held on. So that needs to be addressed. We need to put a piece, at least a 1/4 inch stock in there, and get this, you know, to where it's not going to fall off the airplane. You know, and it's bolted on with one bolt. If you come down here, you can see the tail wheel. There needs to be a little hood. These had a hood, like a little fender, I guess you would call it a fender, that's going to go, that I have to build. We'll have to design that into that too. But that's very sturdy. That's a lot of heavy fiberglass back here, beefed up. I mean, that really is a big, massive piece. So I don't have a problem with that ever falling off or having issues there. Let's go back around to this side. It's just a great airplane. There's a hatch here, which it's you know, it's not latched down. Somebody did put a nice system in here that has all these bell cranks, and they're not working now. But you know, little problem there we'll have to fix. So you know, this is something that's not with the kit. I've not found any pictures, but it works really well. I mean, I'm going to have to put like a bolt here. Didn't know what these holes were for, a wing tube, something, but I found out that that's not a wing tube. Doesn't have wing tube. Pretty much this bolt and the strut pretty much hold the wing on. There's going to have to be some anti-rotating pin put in here, maybe a bolt here, you know, to hold the wing on. It's going to have to, that's where buying secondhand and not having a manual, you have to be the engineer and designer to make sure this thing's not going to fall apart. So another issue, the flap servos have already been installed, but I already noticed the hinges have an issue because they're just not right. You can see how long some of these are from the fuselage. Let's see if I can get a good one in there. There you go. So when you put it up here and hinge it, well, there's a gap there. And that's just not going to cut it for me. So I may have to move this part in to match these. Let's go back on this side of the airplane. I've already had my gauge out, and I can get 1.5 to 1 inch, which would be fine for a scale airplane. This is not an aerobatic airplane. We don't need full throws. It has some great, these are civilian, let's see, we've got the right one here. Yeah, this is a civilian tip, which is great. It has that little bit of a curve in it. It's really nice looking, but we're going to do a military version, so you wouldn't get that. We'll put that on. There is a civilian version, came in a beefed up piece. So, but let's go over, like when I put the flaps on down and the ailerons on, I already know that this doesn't fit. We're going to have to take a little material out, which is not a big deal. That's not an issue. So, but this is a P40 wing that I built. This is Nick Zaroli. And you see the detail in it. And let's talk about that for a minute. When you see all those pop rivets and you have to scratch build an airplane, and you talk about the price of this airplane, all that work, there's a lot of work and detail putting those panel lines and all those rivets in and getting them straight. And this, look at all these rivets. They're already done for you. I've never done a plane like this that's had all that detail done for me. Everything I've done up to this point is I've done the one doing that. So the price of the airplane, believe me, for the time you have to do and spending all of that detail, believe me, it's worth the money not having to do that. The quality of the material is great. It's real thick. It's not flimsy. I've really twisted on things and really looked to make sure what I've got. And I'm really happy with the quality of the material. The things I'm not happy about is this windshield. It is really bad. Not only is it a little bit scratched up, but it's just, you can tell in the camera, and the camera don't even do it justice. It's really bad. So we may make a new canopy for this if I can't get one. And so far, I've reached out, Volkswagen's reached out, and we've not heard anything back from this company. It's called Breyer, out of Germany. So I don't even know if they're in business anymore. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but we may have to make a windshield, and we may go through that, and I'll show you the process of that. Let's go through some of the, like the cowl was cut as a piece, and you do have to do that for the turboprop. Not a big issue, but this side's pretty straight. This side, if you put a straight edge on it, well, it smiles or frowns at you. It doesn't line up. As long as these lines line up, it should be fine. But okay, let's talk about some of the worst issues. All right, let's go down to these hatches. If you look at these hatches, you can clearly see they're really poorly done. I mean, they're wavy. Look at this one, how wavy it is here. I mean, really, you can't cut a straight line on a kit like this? Give me a break. And look at this one. I mean, it's just unreal. So let's go back over some of the things that are just crazy, like this door. Usually a suicide door on a model airplane is a bad thing, because no matter how you latch it, the air wants to continue pull this door open. So I'm probably going to glue that back and fix that up and not even have a door there. I mean, I don't know if they were planning on putting parachute guys and dropping them out or what, but even if you can put your switches there, that don't make any sense. You've got 2 hatches to put switches and receivers and all your wiring. You don't need to put switches down here. It's too far back from everything. So why they have that, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Another pet peeve is drilling holes in the center. If you look, let's see if I can get it in here. All right, 2 holes. Neither one of those are in the center of that line. And they have a line. You can see the panel line. You can see a seam line, 2 holes. And look at these. These are not even cut straight. They're cut crooked. And you can clean them up. I think there's one that might be somewhat straight. But the hole is not even in the center. It's off to the edge. So we're going to have to redress that and get that fixed. And even back here, I think we have 1 or 2 holes that are right, and then other ones are off. I think we can live with that, you know. So there's some things we're going to have to deal with, like whoever did the hatch down here, it doesn't sit flush. Being that most time you're not going to see that, you're going to see the model from when you're standing around, you can see from the top. I may leave that alone and not get too crazy with some of this stuff that bugs me. That's where we're at with the project. I think it's going to be a fun project. There's a few issues we have to work on. I was actually noticing during the video, there's a hinge missing. And I looked in my stuff, I don't have it. I'm going to have to find that hinge, or I'm going to have to replace all the hinges. So we're not really sure right now what's going to be going on with that. So that was something I didn't even see until just while we were doing the video. I noticed that I was missing a hinge. So it's something we got to research, find. We may replace all the hinges. We're not really sure. But anyway, let me know in the comments below if you like the video, and we'll kind of go from there. And I am kind of planning on going through the whole process of finishing this model, and actually even to the point of when we fly it, we'll do a video of it and kind of go from there. It's not going to be a weekly video because I do have a full-time job. This is a hobby. So I'm only going to be able to shop when I can get in the shop. We are going into the winter time, so I'm going to be in the shop a whole lot more. So we hope I can do regular videos. So I hope you like, share, do the thing you already know what you're supposed to do on YouTube. Also go down below, give me some comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy it. Bye.